Look, I was gifted, all right? I never had to be a Tippy Toe Boy.
If you're bringing billions to the table, I'll sew your overalls for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. No, we need to cut this part of the podcast. I can't have my kryptonite just out there for public consumption, dude. We are speeding. I just off camera taught Zane. Speeding means recording in showbiz, if you didn't know out there.
I didn't know out there.
Well, now in here, you know.
Welcome back to A Couple of Fellas. Steve,
Yeah.
how was your day? Bird's eye, aerial view, 30,000 feet. What you got?
So we went to ACL today. That's Austin City Limits for those not in the know. But yeah, a little music festival, dude. Your first music festival, am I correct?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, tell me about it. How did you think it went?
Swimmingly.
Yeah, I bet.
Caught just about every artist. There were two that were at the same time as others we wanted to see, so I didn't end up seeing, and it was only lightly. Erykah Badu and Rufus Du Sol.
Okay. Names I know, whose discographies I
Music
cannot...
I don't. Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly where it was for me, so no harm, no foul.
Right.
These would be nice to hit, but everyone that we had set out as a definite go see, we got to see.
Dude, who was... did you have any big surprises?
Oh, big surprises. I mean, you got to come in for the last day. That was pretty great.
Right. I mean, from the performers.
From the performers, I think that I was expecting Mark Rebelay to be fun.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect him to be the most captivating experience at the weekend.
Dude,
it was incredible.
That show was absolutely incredible.
That might rank as like the best, at least top 3 of concerts I've been to.
Yeah. Dude, he has such a wild energy to him.
Yeah, it's insane.
I feel like producing that type of like looped music affords you that ability to kind of like go off and do like other crazy stuff. But
yeah, it's nuts. He gets to just ad lib in the middle, do all sorts of crazy crowd stuff, jump in and pop champagne while upside down crowd surfing.
Dude, I was exhausted after that show. And just watching him get all sweaty and yelling and moving around and running around the audience and everything. And then like belting, because like some of those
also
like
singing very well,
dude. Some of those riffs that he would go for, just like a single like breath, it was incredible to watch. Yeah, highly recommend if anyone has a chance to see Mark Rebelay in concert, or just check him out on YouTube, dude. His YouTube videos are absolute fire.
Yeah, that honestly might have been my favorite part of the weekend. Greta Van Fleet also excellent.
Yeah, great show.
I'm glad you got to see both. Those two and maybe Miley were probably the top 3, and I think those two top 2 it.
Yeah, the thing is, I would probably know more Miley Cyrus songs than some of the other like people I saw today.
I think she did a lot of maybe like, I mean, she did some covers and like good ones, like Blondie.
Okay.
Maybe a Janis Joplin song.
That's totally her aesthetic now.
And she's
I could
killing
see
it.
Right.
She's a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
So much talent. But I think a lot of the songs she did were also maybe relatively newer ones of hers that I don't know.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But she did do Wrecking Ball, and that was great.
Did she do any Hannah Montana stuff? Okay.
That was about as close as it got to that.
She didn't do Best of Both Worlds?
No.
What's another Hannah Montana song?
I could not tell you.
Isn't there one about like trying your best? Nobody's Perfect. That's the other one. Nobody's
Everybody
Perfect.
Makes mistakes.
That's another one. Yeah, everybody makes mistakes. See, there you go. That's a Hannah Montana.
Is that Hannah Montana?
100%.
It's the loosest association I have with the name.
Well, you nailed it. But yeah, so none of that catalog of song. I wish, dude.
Yeah, she's doing her rock star thing, and she's also again fucking killing it.
Oh yeah.
But I think Greta Van Fleet is just the best kind of music to have a live show of.
Yeah, seriously.
And it was perfect as the sun was setting, and their light show was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was fantastic. And Mark Rebelay is his own thing.
Yeah.
Those two, I think, topped it for the weekend for me.
Well, that's crazy that I came on the best day to be here then, it sounds like.
Yeah, I would say so.
Dude, I've had a little bit of a whirlwind of a weekend.
Yeah, catch the listeners up.
On Friday after work, Hamza and I, we drove to Boston, caught a bus into the city or whatever. We saw Joe Rogan in...
Must have been nice.
Oh, yeah, dude. For longtime fans of the podcast, you will remember that Zane and I bought these tickets long ago.
Like 2 years ago.
Like 2 years ago. It was supposed to be for October of 2020. I think we bought them in March of that year and got rescheduled to October of 2021, unfortunately. Slash, mostly fortunately, Zayd has gone to med school in Austin and was not able to attend the show. So Hamza and I went, but a little tricky thing that happened is as we get up and we're like going up the escalators to get into the whole arena and everything, we see the sign of the things you need to present to get in. And one of them is proof of vaccination or a negative test. Now,
naturally,
right. Didn't know about this going into it. So, of course, he and I are both vaccinated, but neither of us had our vax cards on us.
Just put that in your wallet. That's, I think, what it's for.
It's too big. And I've taken a picture of it since, and that's how I got into ACL, is by showing a picture in my ID. But at the time, didn't have one. Tried to find medical records online, couldn't find them. Fuck. Hamza has a very bright idea. Dude, there's a CVS across the street. Let's see if they do rapid tests. So we go in, the pharmacy section's closed. They don't do rapid tests, but they do have the at-home tests, which I don't even think I knew were a thing. But they have these COVID-19 10-minute at-home tests. So we buy one. It comes in packs of 2. Perfect. We go outside. We take the test. Both say negative. Let's go.
Walk in with the test.
Walk in with this basically little like stick with a blue line on it in this little tiny test tube.
Perfect.
And also we brought the instruction manual to show that this means negative.
Very good. Very good work.
We get back in line, get all the way up to the security guy, show it. Immediately he's like, yeah, those don't work. Fuck. So yeah, we're a little bit screwed. But then he tells us, oh yeah, just they're doing whatever the rapid test is. I forget what it's called.
Their own version.
Yeah, they're doing like a rapid test. Just like go around the corner, blah 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 blah. So we eventually find this like tiny little clinic that they're putting on. It's like $30 for a friggin' rapid test. What a racket! But we get the test, we get negative, and we're eventually able to make it into the show without missing any of like the openers, or we got in like just under the wire. It was
perfect.
It was perfect, other than the fact that it cost us $25 to buy the at-home test, then followed up with $30 each to buy the the actual rapid test. But yeah,
all because it's too big. Fold it a little.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, the day I got that thing, I put it in my glove box and it never left. And the crazy thing is too, last weekend I got advice from someone like, oh yeah, dude, take a picture of it and just like put it in your notes so that you never lose track of the photo. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. I totally should do that. And guess what I didn't do?
That.
Yeah, correct.
Very good.
Yeah.
I've been studying.
But yeah, dude, the Joe Rogan show was awesome. I'm not out here trying to spoil any jokes of his, you know what I mean? They locked up our phones for a reason.
Tell us jokes that aren't his, and we'll imagine he said them. Who's there?
Not Joe Rogan, because I don't know any knock jokes to tell. But so, do you see how smooth of an exit that was, dude? I'm a social mastermind.
It's great, even smoother as you drop these road flares calling attention to it.
Yeah, exactly. Spotlights and such. But yeah, no, I mean, it was a great show. Y'all are out there gonna have to wait for his next special, though. Definitely. One of the things, though, he talked shit on CNN after they said he was taking like not tranquilizers, Jesus, but like
horse dewormer.
Yeah, horse dewormer, whatever. And I did not expect that crowd to go so hard against CNN. The biggest like boo of the night was when he mentioned CNN. I was like, all right, yeah, okay, that's a weird thing to get this riled up about, I guess.
That intense, notably so.
Yeah, but I mean, but it was fine. And he was right. They did like.
So it was booze at CNN, not booze at the material against CNN?
Yes, yeah, no. Everyone loved Joe. Yeah, Joe had the whole place captivated. It was yeah.
Go figure.
A wonderful special.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Netflix or whatever.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and then in between these two things, just hopped on a plane, flew down to Texas, and now I'm back here for the week. So everyone at home gets more of this in-person fellas action.
Hell yeah! None of my computer whirring and clicking in the background. Flawless audio.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that dub was fun to do.
It came out great.
Thank you. Yeah, we for everyone, this is now a cinematic universe of a podcast. If you don't listen to every episode, none of the future ones are going to make sense. So you're going to want to go back.
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you listen in order, probably none of them
Yeah,
will make
also-
sense. We did a Batman word by word story.
We did.
I don't
didn't
think
we?
tracking the first 93 episodes leading up to that is going to help you understand what we were talking
No,
about
dude, it's
anymore.
It is. It has been a straight line. This podcast. It is going in a single direction.
What is that towards? What is the singularity?
I mean, general greatness, I would say.
General greatness seems at odds with a single destination straight line journey. That feels very broad relative to the specificity of what you're talking about.
And the specificity is.
You said this has been going in a straight line.
Yeah, right. To
a
to
general...
the best podcast ever. Generally, I think it's safe to say.
All right.
Yeah, I think that everyone listening would have to agree too. You can see that it's.
Feels like you're shooting an arrow and saying the field in front of you is the target. That's
Yeah,
all.
and, you know, it's not the field in front of me. It's I just got to make it the longest shot I can. That's the goal. How far can I get this arrow?
Just like Spitfire.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness, the Michael Jordan of dock diving.
Yeah, a whole fucking sport. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, to the listeners back home, as a good friend of mine once said, we just watched a short ESPN documentary on the dog with the best long and high jump that is simply untouchable in the competition, a god among dogs.
Spitfire.
Yeah.
He is a whippet, 7 years old now, and
absolutely ripped to the gills,
A rippet?
dude. Yeah. Dude, this whippet, yeah, oh my god, he's just so buff. He's like Tarzan buff.
his thighs are nuts.
Yeah, seriously. I wouldn't fuck with that dog.
It's that athlete diet.
Yeah.
And he gets massages and acupuncture. And,
Yeah.
But also he jumps like 30, 35 feet
Yeah.
distant. Nuts.
Absolute god, dude. I'm a big Spitfire stan now.
Oh, yeah. We're going to the next competition in town.
I wonder how much longer he has in his career. Does he just retire on
He's
top?
7. It's got to be like soon.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah. I feel like peak dog is 4, people tend to say.
Freya's turning 4 this December.
Dude, yeah, she's about to be in her peak, dude.
She's been the exact same dog for 3.5 years
Yeah, that's
since
true.
she stopped growing.
She was puppy and then she was not puppy and that was it.
Yeah, I don't think her personality has changed or really will much.
Or requires change, I would say.
No tweaks necessary.
Yeah, exactly. No notes for that dog.
Anyway, you said you had some other things you wanted to bring to this podcast.
Did I? I definitely wanted to talk about Rogan.
Well, we can fade off right there as I change the batteries.
Ooh.
So, what did you think of?
What did I think of?
Yeah.
Oh, in that gap where I was obviously brainstorming interesting and wonderful things for our fans to listen to.
Yep, right where we left off.
I was thinking of asking you a few questions.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
So a game that we have been told about and that I was playing recently was Red Flag or Deal Breaker.
Okie dokie. I like
Right.
where this is going.
So yeah, to the listeners back home, basically you say a thing about somebody that you're that say you were perhaps interested in romantically, and then you find out this fact about them or discover this behavior of theirs, and you say if this is a red flag, a deal breaker, or full steam ahead, or just like if it's like not an issue at all.
Okay.
This is to friend of the podcast, previous guest Richard. Thank you for this idea. But yeah, he was teaching us about this, and I was wondering, is it a red flag or a deal breaker if someone is rude to wait staff on your first date?
First date. Because, like, you should never be rude to wait staff, obviously.
Right, of course.
Be nice, and it's a hard job.
Let's say in this scenario, their service like isn't great.
Okay, service isn't great.
Like it's taking like longer than it should.
Okay.
So a reasonable person may be upset with them. They're not just like doing nothing wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, anyway.
Subpar service.
Right.
Got it. Yeah, because like if it's normal, or you've been dating dozens of times, or are
Right.
dating, or
Yeah.
live with this person, or it's your roommate or whatever, and it's bad service, maybe you
And
could
this is an off day for them.
yeah, like your buddy. Yeah. If you and I went out to breakfast at Denny's
Yeah.
and you got snippy with a bad serving
Right,
waitress
of
because you were hungover from ACL and
my pancake was a little soft in the middle.
yeah, instead of hard like I like them.
Well, not even hard, but I'm talking it's batter basically. Like this needed more time.
But you were rude.
Right.
Be like, all right, like I see how we got there. I know Steven.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But on a first date,
Yeah.
like you gotta be on best behavior. You're all
Yeah,
smiles. Waiter pours
exactly.
coffee in your lap. You're like, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, this anger comes over you so strongly that even on a first date, you cannot conceal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's a regular habit that you make to not be a quality human.
Right, right.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and call that like a deal breaker.
Straight up deal breaker. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you're
big
not
deal.
talking to this person again.
Yeah, not in
Okay.
a romantic way, at least.
Okay. What about they take 3 days to text back often?
No, that's too many days.
That's
I
too many
operate in
days.
short time chunks. I'm
Like,
a busy guy.
It's not.
I got
Let's
a lot
not
of
say
studying to do.
every message is 3 days apart, but they'll be like good for like an hour or two, and then it can take like oftentimes 3 days just randomly.
Yeah, again, I think that's too far and unreasonable unless you lead with I'm going to be super slammed and might not get back to you for a few days.
Right, right.
Unless you consistently preface that,
Mm.
just out of nowhere gaps for multiple days at a time is like not something I need to spend time on.
Right, right, right. What if it is a busy thing, and they do preface it? Can
Red
you
flag
deal with
instead
it?
of deal breaker.
Okay, okay.
Red flag,
But
keep
still,
an eye on
but
that.
still, it could
Yeah,
be. Yeah, still
it's
an
not
issue.
fine.
Okay.
What about for you for that one? I think that works a lot better for your style of
Yeah, 3 days.
being.
That's fine. I can do 3 days easy.
3 days goes by, I'm in a whole different unit of
I mean,
school. I got like
depending on the context of what they reply to. Like if I ask a question that I need an answer to, and that's just like, oh, I guess that I'm just not hearing back from them. That's an issue. But if it's like randomly in conversation, just like dies, and then I don't hear from them for 3 days, like, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's not that they're ignoring me, it's just that they're not, thinking to text me, which is fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So maybe a red flag, but honestly, probably not an issue at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say
Fair
so.
enough.
Let's say,
I mean, again, also, like conversation dying off. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's on. I think I was thinking of it more like just doesn't reply whenever this cutoff happens,
Right.
and then doesn't reply until like days later.
Yeah.
So not necessarily like, all right, have a good night, and then not text, because like that's a little more normal.
Yeah.
But if just like at random times, like in the morning one Tuesday, and
Yeah.
then not hearing until Friday, and then like
When you're trying to
Saturday
make
afternoon,
plans,
that
yeah.
just like ghost you till Tuesday, like just all the time and randomly.
Yeah.
That's more of a pain in the ass than I need to deal with. I'm not
Okay,
telling you to
okay.
report your schedule, but like give a guy a heads up, or it's not a great fit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say,
What if they're a noisy eater?
ooh, a noisy eater.
I just imagined you sitting down for like a nice Italian dinner date with someone, and they're like
Ooh.
slurping their pasta in.
See, I feel like stuff like that automatically can't be a red flag. Because it's like
This will be all the time and always.
it's like I feel like something like noisy eater, you see the extent of the problem in front of you. It's hard to really say like, oh, they're a noisy eater. I bet they also suck in this way.
that I wouldn't say that's heavily correlated with other things.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So
like,
maybe,
can you
like,
deal with this or not?
Congenital jaw defects, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I'm gonna say probably like deal breaker if like it's that annoying. Like
If it's something that draws attention to it.
yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
"Ugh."
Like especially again, a lot of these are like, is this a first date? Like,
I
and
think
they eat like a slob. I
Yeah,
mean,
let's
I eat
pretend
like a
first
slob
date,
to be
because
fair.
this is like this is a good first date game.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna say like, oh god, that was fucking weird, and I'm probably getting out of there.
I don't need a mukbang with every meal.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in public.
Mukbang me could be an episode title if you run out of inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, noisy eater. Carter used to have a thing with that. Like
Oh yeah.
late elementary, all middle, through high school. Like you could be chewing at a normal volume with your mouth closed and be like, "Can you chew quieter?"
Right, yeah.
Just like chew sounds kind of freaked him out. My
Do you
mom is not great at it, so they got snippy a lot.
Do you have any sounds that like trigger you?
I don't think so.
Dude,
I don't love like nails on a blackboard,
Yeah, right.
but that's kind of hacking the fuck that sound system.
Yeah. Dude, for me it's styrofoam rubbing together, man. No, it's like I don't know.
Oh, is that what it sounds
It
like?
makes me yeah, it's
Doesn't
like but
bug me.
no, it's like squeaky too. It's
That was-
like
yeah.
it's like soft and yeah, oh my dude, it like makes it ever since I can remember, that sound makes me like short of breath. I hate it.
Describe the reaction. Short of breath.
Yeah,
Does it like remind you of it's just some primal fear?
it like forces like an exhale and like yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. I hate it
I'm
so
gonna ambush
much.
you with a styrofoam cooler at some point just to see.
2 pieces of squeaky wood against each other also isn't great, but like nowhere near styrofoam. Oh my god, it makes me so uncomfortable just to think about.
That's an interesting odd thing.
Yeah, I hate it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So if someone told you that on a first date, is that a red flag or a deal breaker?
I'm sad you jumped in because I was gonna say, so if you're on a first date and they bring out 2 pieces of styrofoam and start rubbing them.
Oh god, yeah, that's sprint out of the room. Like, could you imagine the psychological like one, what was their motive? Did they know this about me? Have I shared this already, or was this?
You have now.
Yeah, true. That was just out there for any future
Your phobias
date of
are
mine.
exposed.
Right, yeah. I could be harassed in public like this and there's no legal precedent for this.
No reason to throw a milkshake on you. Just rub 2 together.
Yeah, exactly. No, don't.
Throw it instead.
No, we need to cut this part of the podcast. I can't have my kryptonite just out there for public consumption, dude.
Well, I could probably edit one by next week, but let's be real. If this is going up tomorrow, this is you anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Just let me know so I can keep an eye on the math for timing. Give you enough to work with.
Yeah.
Okay. This game's working well.
Right,
I say we keep rolling with it.
Okay. One that I feel like I stand apart from other people is, like, they say that their friendship with their ex is non-negotiable. Like, if brought up, let's say this isn't like a first date, like let's say whatever, but they have a friendship with this ex that you're not comfortable with, but they're like, or I don't know, I can't imagine myself being that uncomfortable with. Basically, yeah, they have to be friends with their ex. Like that's not.
That's the prompt. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
There certainly could be questions and some weirdness. I think that if you had asked me at 19, 20, 21, like very strongly not cool, but older and wiser as I now am, I don't think it's the hugest deal, but there's a lot of context that does matter. Tonality of that conversation and the way that that's presented, in the sense of like mindfulness to you and understanding that that might be uncomfortable to you,
Right.
the potential new partner.
Yeah.
Depending on the attitude and like general demeanor of the ex, and also the dynamic. Like if it is a group of high school friends that still regularly hangs out because you live in the same area.
Right. Yeah. What are you going to do about that?
Fair.
Yeah.
If it's like from another town and they still meet up for drinks, that's a bit of a different dynamic that I might be less okay with.
Right.
Probably still fine, again, if it seems like it's an upstanding person. But like, if there's sketchy vibes, it's like, oh, I'm still like I'm gonna go get drinks with my ex. Heads up, is the way it's presented. Like, yeah, that could combo into things that are which means I guess I have to sort it red flag. Because it falls on a whole spectrum of might not bother me at all. Could be buddies with them. To this is a problem, obviously, and a deal breaker.
Yeah.
So I think the middle one gives me the flexibility either way.
Yeah, it's something, I guess it's like something to keep an eye on, but I don't know, man. If you're like with someone.
I also don't mean like keep an eye on continuously. It's like those initial checks and stuff, and then unless given a reason.
Yeah. Live and let live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, seems like a normal dude. there's like more people than just them in this like I don't know, regular friendship, or there's more context to it than romantic history.
Right.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. I get it.
Yeah, I think generally, I just don't think it's a deal breaker, and I think that one gets deal breaker from a lot of people.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like probably most people, right?
I would guess so.
That might be one that we ask another guest of the podcast, see how they weigh in, because I feel like we're in the minority here.
We need to know where they put their 5 dicks.
Yeah. Yep.
And whether or not they're cool with their exes.
Yeah, exactly. Their significant others being friends with their exes.
It's basically the thumbprint of having been a guest on this podcast.
Yeah,
we have that
exactly.
information about you.
Yeah, it's more unique than any other identifier. Okay.
That's a solid one.
Yeah. What about they've been engaged 3 times? And let's just say these were all somewhat amicable breakups.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say red flag again because of the same deal. Spectrum. Could be totally innocuous, like one got a crazy opportunity and had to leave the continent or something, and the relationship fizzled out because they tried to keep distance but were in different time zones. Whatever the fuck. It could be that, like, their second person decided that they had been living a lie and their sexual orientation was other.
Right.
And they broke it off. And then maybe the last one, like, you said amicable, so not, like, cheated on them, but...
We can get one cheater in there.
Yeah,
we can get one
cheated on them.
Yeah,
something like that. Anything. Cold feet, ran away at the altar.
Right.
Whatever. And there you go. Like an unlucky lineup of ducks in a row, but not their fault or necessarily a fault of their character.
Right.
But on the other end of the spectrum, if you have like, oh yeah, I've had 3 previous fiancés, and the person's answer as to why those relationships ended was like, oh, they turned out to be crazy.
Yeah.
For all 3 of them, it's like, all right, well, maybe the pot's calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a common denominator to assess here.
Yeah.
Like, it could definitely be something that's a problem. So red flag. Put it in the middle for me.
Yeah, right off the bat, I'm going to say I think that this one's scaring me off. I'm like, whoa, 3 times, like...
Again, it's more likely a no than a yes.
Yeah,
but like, I'll hear the case. Present the stories. Give me the facts.
Exactly. Prove me wrong.
I'll listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, here's one.
Sure.
You go out on a date with a lovely lady, and over conversation, this first date, she says that she does not like Marvel. Like the Marvel movies, the Marvel, like, not like, they're fine, but just like, I don't like them. I don't enjoy it. Like, I don't get why people get hyped up. And that's going to be a consistent presence around Marvel with this individual. How do you feel?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that one's fucking me up too much. I passingly like Marvel, I would say. Like, I see some of the movies. I like my time with them. But like, yeah, if I'm dating someone who's like not trying to watch Marvel movies, that's fine.
He's gonna like give you shade for going out to catch a new one with your friends.
Oh, is she gonna make fun
She's
of me?
like,
that could be funny though.
Anti-Marvel. Yeah, it could be. That's true.
She could have some good like
zingers.
Yeah, exactly.
With a sense of humor, that could be great.
Yeah, I could totally be up for being made fun of for watching Marvel movies.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that could be done in good fun.
I agree.
Yeah, not even a red flag for you though. If she's that negative towards Marvel.
I mean, potential, because it's about the energy. Like,
right.
If you just don't like, if you're going to make jokes, sure. If you're going to not partake, sure.
Yeah.
If you're going to like be demeaning about it, yeah, I get that they're shallow, but they also have the biggest studios and the most budget, so they're crafting a good piece of entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, it's got its factory made seal still on it clearly, but it's still entertaining, and I'm not ashamed of that.
I've heard that new Venom movie
Let There Be Carnage.
Terrible but very fun to watch, basically, is the consensus I've heard.
Damn it. I was really hoping.
Hoping for what? That'd be good?
Yeah.
Did you think the last one was good?
I thought the first Tom Hardy Venom was solid. Had some nice counter comedy in there.
Yeah.
I liked it. and I thought that there was a chance it could get much better, and I thought Woody Harrelson was a good choice of villain, and I thought that it was going to be potentially better than the first.
The way that I heard Venom Let There Be Carnage describes me was that it's a bromantic comedy about a sweaty man and a goop monster.
Bromantic comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
Bromantic action adventure comedy?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds probably right.
Yeah.
But I'm up for that too.
I
don't mind watching corny shit.
I could. Oh, real quick sidebar. Should I spoil the after credit scene, or should I leave that off for now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently they're tying it back in with Marvel's, like, what's the teenager looking boy's name? Tom. What's his name? The guy who plays Spider-Man.
Oh, Tom. Oh my God.
Tom Riddle.
Yeah, that's the fucking Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Riddle.
Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. Like, they're tying the Venom movie in with the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. And could you imagine Tom Holland Spider-Man having beef with, like, Tom Hardy's Venom?
Wow. That could be a great time.
Yeah, those two movies have, I don't know, just completely different feels to them. I'm curious to see how that works, kind of.
I am excited also to see the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah.
Get Doc Ock back.
Oh, yeah, true.
There's some, like, timeline multiverse crossover. I like that Marvel's playing around with the crazy shit because it opens the door up to everything the comics did and more.
Yeah, and maybe they'll do, like, some stuff with the Fox X-Men, although I feel like that series dove off a cliff.
I've never seen any part of it at all.
Really?
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh, like where Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine, like that series of X-Men movies?
Oh, I thought you said Fox Studios. I for some reason was thinking like FX, and you said series of movies.
Series of films.
I thought you were talking about a series, like how the CW has Supergirl.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I thought there was another X-Men IP out there I was unaware of entirely. No, I've seen all of those.
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, if they could bring that into, I don't know, that universe is so expansive.
A lot to be done, a lot to play with.
Mm.
Speaking of playing, shall we get back to our game?
Yeah, sure.
Kind of working for us.
Okay.
You walk in.
Yeah.
Scene, interior.
Right.
Establishment.
Right.
Date time.
Of course.
Meeting who? Your date.
Yes. Who else but?
Now that we have all of the specific context set.
Yeah, now that we have the characters, the setting, and the theme established.
You sit down.
Right.
And the first interest that they tell you about is making up ad-lib Batman stories.
I mean, propose on the spot, obviously. What are the odds?
That's also my favorite thing.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, do I have the podcast for her, dude.
Should be your biggest fan.
Oh.
Fair enough, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What you got?
Let's say...
What you got?
What
What you got? Okay, here's one.
Okay.
Inspired by someone from my high school, which I think might be an endless pool of inspiration to pull from.
Okay, gotcha.
Always just like... If there's roughly, 5-ish levels of formal from beachwear up to, like, shorts and t-shirt of any variety up through, like, you'd wear it to maybe a restaurant actual shorts and shirt.
Yeah.
Up to, like, whatever, California casual, business casual,
sure.
6 maybe.
Gotcha.
They're always at least 1, maybe 2-ish clicks too formal. Always.
Okay.
For example, great guy at my high school wore shirt and tie, like tucked in shirt, tie, pants.
Wow.
Every day. Like some kids wore shorts all year just because that was the cool thing to do, I guess, to flex how strong you are.
Sure.
Always. This was his point of pride, like the whole year. If that's how it goes. Yeah. You're meeting for your first date wherever you usually go. Hooters, let's say.
Yeah, of
and
course.
she shows up in a nice dress. Like one step short of ball gown. Like a nice dress. Just constantly, always, anywhere you go.
Right.
If you go to Walmart, she's wearing at least like button-down shirt, maybe tucked in. I don't know.
Okay, what is she wearing if we're going on a hike?
This is going to be rougher to think about.
Right.
Black leather hiking boots, polished to a sheen.
Okay.
Formal boots.
Right.
Fuck, this is a harder angle to draw. It's not. This doesn't fit into my flat stack of formal. Wait, we can make this work. It would be, I guess, shawl
Okay.
over a blouse.
Wow. Oh, so she's looking
With
like
maybe
Jane
like
from
a
Tarzan.
knee-length skirt. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Actually, perfect. That would be the
Okay.
right comparison.
Like her in the jungle. Like this is what she wears.
Yes.
That'd be pretty ridiculous. Okay.
I've opened up a whole new avenue of options to explore for these questions. Just you wait.
Right, because you dated this kid that you're talking about. And
Yeah,
so these were all things
exactly.
that you had to deal with in your relationship.
Mr. Gray, 50 Shades of.
Yeah. I'll say red flag. I guess that's kind of weird. Like
Just-
I wonder.
Their answer can be whatever. Just like, you never know when you're gonna network or need to look your best
Yeah,
or be
yeah.
interviewed by a reporter randomly. Just, you never know.
I'm just doing it for me.
Can't hurt.
Yeah. Red flag, I guess. Like, what do they wear when they're just like coming over to watch Netflix or whatever? Full silk like pajamas.
Dressed up, down.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
In a smoking jacket.
I'm digging through my mental image of my wardrobe to try and fit to this imaginary formal girl, and it's
Right.
difficult to give you pajama Netflix formalities with this palette.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
You know the joggers that I have? They're not canvas, but
Mhm.
like that type of
Right.
fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah, pants like that. Still normal shirt.
Okay.
I don't know, not a baggy t-shirt, not a tank top,
All
but
right.
like
This
a regular
outfit is a
tee.
deal breaker. I've changed my mind, dude.
Okay.
I can't deal with that of all things. That outfit you described.
And it
that
probably would be nightgown with silk pajamas underneath for
and
bed.
also a sleeping cap, like
Yeah.
Sleepy Gary from Rick and Morty.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just a little bit formal.
Okay.
Red flag.
Yeah. That's.
I need to see where else this leads.
Yeah. Exactly. I just
Noisy
want to.
eater, that's isolated. This feels like there's other things to be.
I want to see what outfits this person has. I kind of want to.
Just do all the different things.
Yeah.
Like, what's your putt-putt outfit?
What happens when we go to a Renaissance fair? How does she outdo everyone? Just like insane cosplay,
I mean, if you're cosplaying,
full suit of armor.
fuck, man, I guess.
Yeah.
You're really testing my creative flexibility
She
on
dresses
this.
like the queen, perhaps.
Yeah, sure.
She comes in a crown.
Yeah, they get
Okay.
confused whether or not she's a part of the fair or...
Right.
Okay, well,
Okay.
now we should ask the opposite question.
Yeah.
1 or 2 levels under formal.
Ooh.
We're talking people of Walmart garb for a good swath of places.
Right.
Might be
Yeah.
fuzzy slippers at the festival.
Yeah. And like, yeah.
Might be a deal breaker. I think I'm going to lean in early.
Yeah, that's such a tough conversation. Like, why won't you dress nice?
I don't know.
I might just
respect yourself, look presentable to the world, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know. That's not a conversation I want to have.
Yeah. And it's not like, no, I think I generally try to put some effort into the way I look. And if it's always whatever 2 levels of formality down is, yeah, I'll say that might be a deal breaker as well.
You go to a fancy reception after college
We
graduation.
go to our wedding.
Jeans and a t-shirt.
Wearing overalls to our wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually a good one. Overalls all the time, always.
Overalls. How always are we talking? Are we talking
Not funerals
Whenever
and
someone
not
is-
to bed.
right?
Like,
Whenever someone is wearing no to bed.
these are my silk overalls.
Yeah,
my
exactly.
pajama
These are my
overalls.
sleeping overalls. Yeah, that's gonna be a deal
breaker for
too,
me.
Yeah.
if there's anything always in your outfit, like
Yeah,
if it's cowboy boots, always bolo ties, always.
yeah,
You got to be a little more flexible than that.
right, yeah. But then there's like Steve Jobs who wore the same thing every day.
Yeah, well, be worth billions, and you can wear whatever you want.
Okay, yeah, true.
If you're bringing billions to the table, I'll sew your overalls
Yeah,
for you.
exactly. I can get past the overalls if I'm dating a billionaire.
Elon Musk starts wearing overalls all the time,
Yeah.
always.
And I start dating
Let's
him.
see if if he even gets a girlfriend
Yeah.
and an 8th child or whatever he's up to.
Does he have that many?
He's got like 6, I think.
No
7.
way.
He's got a bunch. Ooh, looks like it's a lightning storm.
Why do we only know?
Slumber party, or are you going back?
No, dude. Yeah, I probably got to go back.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. They're into steampunk.
Into steampunk.
Not aggressively, not to the point where it draws attention at their place of employment,
Okay.
the steampunk costume factory.
Wait.
But
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
like you notice purse
Right.
has extra studs and it's all leather and copper toned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you go back to their place however many first dates in you are, and
They live in a clockwork apartment.
yes.
A steam-powered clockwork
No, you just see
apartment.
there's a leather duster hanging on the hook by the front door. There's like a hat with big glass Coke bottle goggles on it.
Oh.
They
get
enjoy
home.
it. They have accessories occasionally, a watch with some extra copper tubing on it,
Right.
occasional cosplay for like a Comic-Con or whatever.
Yeah.
Just,
Imagine.
it's consistent. It's some in their decorating, but it's not like they collect and only furnish with it's consistently steampunk, but not a lot of it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm
I'm trying to think if you would. I'm trying to decide for you if you would accept it and keep your arm's length, turn tail and run, or accept it and lean into it.
lean. Wow, this is really cool. All these gears and things.
You're an engineer. I could see you fiddling.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could get past this. I do. It's not the worst thing. It could be kind of a cool aesthetic. The hat is weird. Do they wear this?
A bowler hat.
Like, yeah, I'm imagining like they get home, they're like, oh god, what a long day of work. They take off their shoes and then they put on like fingerless gloves and a bowler hat and like, I don't know, fiddle with things.
I don't know if the fingerless gloves is a part of the steampunk aesthetic, but
I like
They
to
might
think
fiddle.
it is. Yeah, and like a monocle that they have. Yeah, red flag, kind of weird, but whatever. If it's not overwhelming when I walk in, I'll be able to get past it as an aesthetic choice.
I don't know that I would even rate it red flag. Be like, this person is interesting. I'd like to see where else this leads. There might be other things that do have a correlation with steampunk interest that are red flags to me,
Right.
but that alone and in itself, I don't think I have an issue with.
Okay.
Plot twist, I'm describing my ideal.
Yeah. So wait, who's
I hope you're listening, Molly.
Yeah. That kid from your high school. You hope he's listening.
We had a kid at our high school who walked only tippy toes. Did you have any of those?
Only tippy toes?
Yeah.
No, I don't quite think so.
Which I thought was incredibly unique. And then I've heard other stories of people knowing individuals that walk like that,
Right.
especially people talking back to their high school days or whenever back in the past.
Yeah.
Apparently, and I don't know that obviously with health and illnesses, everything is a spectrum. I don't know if there's any actual like embryological or tendomusculodevelopmental issue that belies it, but I do know that occasionally kids that do that for long enough, for example, into high school, because your body is so great at adapting, your Achilles tendon shortens because it's not as under tension.
Right.
So they end up being unable to walk flat-footed and need to have the tendon cut and lengthened with surgery to be able, and then do rehab to like relearn how to walk normally, because the bones and tendons all start to adjust to that being the norm.
Jesus.
I don't know, again, if there was any like predisposition or if there's, I don't know, like linked to folate during pregnancy or anything weird. Like, I think it's more of a form following function, the body molding to fit that, and then needing surgical correction to be prepared.
Yeah. I wonder how common that surgery is. Like, I feel like that's a pretty one-to-one thing of how common this is across America. How many young boys are having surgery to lengthen their Achilles tendon?
Well, There's also some physical therapy stuff, obviously working on it, and I think there's training and stuff because, again, your body's designed to do specific biomechanical motions, and if you jank that up and your body starts to adapt at the foot and heel and ankle level, that change and those forces get transmitted upwards, and it can cause later in life knee issues and back issues and hip issues because of center of gravity and alignment stuff.
Right.
Pretty much anything that causes you to wonk up your gait can just echo up your whole body as problems.
Jesus.
So it's something to be fixed. I don't know that one's so much of like a personal choice as a habit that became physiological.
Right.
I don't think there's like advocacy groups against tendon surgery.
I think that there should be, dude. And I think that I'm happy to announce actually that this is going to be a couple of fellas' first public stance on a big issue that everyone's talking about. And I know it's controversial, but yeah, we stand in support of those boys who have shortened their Achilles tendons through walking on their tiptoes all the time.
We stand in support, a couple inches taller than we would.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, those poor boys. And if you go to, sorry, what was that? Oh, what was the acronym of what I just said?
I could not tell you.
Boys whose Achilles are too short because they stand on their tiptoes all the time. Come on, what is that?
Race for the Cure.
Okay, we'll get the acronym later, but
Race Against the Cure, I guess.
Yeah.
Check out our charity event.
We could. Oh no, it would have to be something with. Oh no, that'd be Achilles, right?
Can we throw Susan G. Komen's name on there? I
Who
feel
is
like that'll
this?
just. The Susan G. Komen is Walk for the Cure. I think it's a big breast cancer research foundation charity thing.
Okay.
But
These
I've
boys
seen
don't have
commercials
breasts,
for decades.
I will say.
Yeah, but I think that name just kind of adds weight to.
Oh, okay. To this advocacy group.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think we could get her on board.
If you support breast cancer research, then you support keeping boys on their tippy toes.
No, we got to get.
Susan G. Komen's on both charities.
We can't keep them on their tippy toes, dude.
I thought you're against the surgery to correct it.
No, I'm for the surgery. We need to.
That was not clear this whole time. I thought you were taking a contrarian approach.
Oh,
I think you
no.
argued against it for a good minute and a half.
Definitely not, and the listeners will agree with me because
when you go
they're
back
all
through this and
smart like
edit
me.
and hear the conversation back, I want you
Yeah.
to reflect on how stupid you'll feel
no way, dude.
at that time.
Completely incorrect. But yeah, no, these boys need us now more than ever. Their Achilles are far too short. They've been walking on their tiptoes for far too long, and
I won't stand for it.
yeah, our approach is two-pronged. One, raise money to get these surgeries for these boys. Two, spread awareness to these boys that it's just not worth walking on your tippy toes, not even once. It's addicting. The power that comes with that added height, those few extra inches.
You, if anyone, would know.
Look, I was gifted, all right? I never had to be a tippy toe boy. But maybe if I were born in another's shoes, then I wouldn't be so lucky, and maybe I would be a tippy toe boy myself. It's hard to know.
You should walk around tippy toe in a day in their shoes.
Absolutely, I know the dangers, dude. I don't touch the stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
and neither should these boys, and that's why we need to spread awareness.
interior bar.
Right.
Your date walks in on her tippy toes.
Yeah. I'm concerned for her,
Red
honestly.
flag?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in heels or just in sneakers on tippy toes?
It is a hooter, so she's in heels. It's formal
Oh my
and tippy toes.
Dude, this is
No, just whatever. Regular shoes, tippy toes.
regular shoes.
Heels
walking
might be
around
the
on
perfect
tippy toes.
compromise.
Right, yeah. Yeah, this charity also gets boys' heels so that they can ease into
Just gives them stilettos.
Yeah,
of decreasing
exactly.
size.
give these so that they can be taller and they can slowly work to smaller and smaller heels to extend their Achilles over time.
Perfect plan.
Yeah, exactly.
So your date walks in on her tippy toes.
Right. Yeah, throwing that bitch to the curb. I only care about boys on their tippy toes. I only have enough compassion for so many people. She's got to figure her shit out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe she's donezo.
We're getting on in our 20s, Steve. You can't be a whole ass adult still tippy toeing through
Yeah,
life.
true. You're living a lie at that point. What are you doing? You should have figured this out in high school like those poor boys.
If only there was a charity for them too. I don't know. Someone else will
Exactly.
start it.
Yeah.
Do you have other real ones, or do you just want to keep going on these wild flights of fancy?
Real ones. Let's say they have
Not a dog person.
not a
Deal breaker.
red flag for. I mean, you have a dog, so like, yeah, obviously that's not gonna work out.
I mean, I know people who aren't cat or aren't dog people, but their partner has one.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm a deal breaker for that.
I guess that's, yeah, if you like straight up just don't like dogs, I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. But not a dog person like doesn't want a dog or doesn't like get super excited when a dog is around. That's fine.
None of that. Doesn't want a dog. Doesn't want another dog if you have one. If Freya goes, wouldn't want a replacing dog.
Right.
Just like generally anti-dog. Not like I hate dogs, but
that's fine. That's fine. A little bit of red flag just because it is odd, but like, no, yeah, I don't need to date someone who like loves dogs. I think, yeah,
dogs are pretty fucking great.
they are, and I can still enjoy them on my own. Or is this like the Marvel movie where she just makes fun of me every time I enjoy petting?
Oh, there
a
you go,
dog?
petting dogs again.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What do
are
dogs
you?
have that I don't have?
Yeah, exactly. They're so dumb. What do they even do?
Some very little, but that's also what's great about them.
Exactly.
Other real ones. 'Cause I can keep pumping these out. The turntables have.
Yeah.
You said you had questions for me. Wine snooty. You're out at this fancy Italian dinner.
Yeah.
A nice $100 date or whatever.
Okay.
Snooty with the wine.
Snooty with the wine.
Does the sloshing, does the tasting. Comments on the notes of it.
Right.
And just like always. Like, yeah, they appreciate their wine. Yeah, they're knowledgeable about their wine. But like, the wine matters.
Yeah.
The wine pairing matters.
Right.
They're going to take their time and enjoy their wine and comment on the wine. And it's going to be a topic of date conversation when there is wine.
Right.
You're not picking up boxes of Boda.
Oh, this sounds annoying. I'm going to say a deal breaker. Yeah. Like, don't. Yeah. Although I do like hearing people talk about things that they're interested in.
I think that would be nice for a while, but would get old.
Yeah, exactly. I would stop caring pretty quickly once it was just like,
if I didn't fall in love with wine also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to say, yeah, get the hell out of here with all this wine talk. If this is going to be a constant thing.
I'll have a cider.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right. But if it happens once, that's a red flag of possibly more of these conversations to come.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got?
Another one Richard gave us was you find out that they've committed a white collar crime.
I want to hear about it.
Okay.
I am intrigued.
Sure, embezzlement.
Okay.
Yeah. They're arrested for embezzlement.
You know, it's not fair, but I'm going to throw another completely like scenario value-based judgment on it.
Okay.
If they were working at a shitty venture capital fund and it feels like in some sense it's sticking it to shitty people, I'm going to be a lot less upset.
Right.
Depends who it hurts.
Right.
If we got Robin Hood shit, it's from much wealthier people.
Yeah.
Significant chance that I can overlook that.
She was embezzling funds from a Salvation Army.
Very deal breaker.
Yeah, that's not a good one. Okay.
So like red flag then.
What
because
about
it could range the whole way.
What about an elementary school?
No, that's a deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker. Okay.
Can't be morally bankrupt.
Sure. What about
just avoiding financial bankrupt?
Right. What about embezzling money through a Starbucks?
Okay.
Yeah. Not a deal breaker.
Yeah, I doubt that's moving in volume such that it impacts people's livelihoods. It's like, all right, we'll call that red flag.
Okay.
Like, if this is going to be a trend of criminal behavior, I might not want to be mixed up in it. But
right, but if they're a regular Robin Hood of themselves, then you're all in. If they're stealing from the rich and giving to, well, themselves, but still stealing from the rich.
Yeah, depending on which rich, and again, if that's like their thing.
Okay.
Oh, it's Saturday night. I'm gonna go embezzle again.
Yeah, going embezzling. Don't call. I'll be up late.
Yeah, so I think that's how I feel on it.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, that I feel like that's kind of cool. Like I feel like, oh man, like this. I don't, or unless they were just like stupid about it and don't know the system, and I don't know, they just got caught stealing essentially. Um,
A little bit of mystery, a little bit of
yeah,
intrigue.
I feel like if they're doing white collar crimes, they're like too cool for me though. I don't know if I could like keep up with such a fast paced life like that.
There's probably a lot of just computers. Dirty guys at computers, I think, is most of the white collar crime.
Right, true. I watched Ozark. I know how laundering works.
Yeah, you bring coins and then bring detergent.
Yeah, exactly. You got to throw it in a washing machine and then
fucking hit go and
it's laundered. Yeah.
There you go, off to the races.
Uh,
You think there's been at least one criminal at some point that legitimately made off with a bunch of cash from a register of the 7-Eleven and then threw it in the washing machine to launder it?
I mean,
You think somebody has mistaken laundering and washed
No, but
illicitly gotten
if
money
you watch Ozark, that's what he does. Is he throws money
to make it all beaten up? And
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, exactly. So I'm sure that they have taken money from an ATM.
Do you think
and done
that's
that.
where that term comes from? Is it legitimate laundering?
They talk about cleaning the money
But that's,
or whatever?
you know, dirty money is ill-gotten money.
Yeah.
Clean money is in circulation.
So did that come before the term laundering? I don't know.
But do you think there's been a dumb criminal that threw money in the washing machine because he heard laundering and at some point was like, this is what I have to do? Has someone done that mistakenly and for no good reason?
Who's to say, but I hope so. I really hope that this has happened.
I'm like, all right, good. Now that that's taken care of.
And you know what? I hope that they got away with it and just went on the rest of their lives thinking that they were great money launderers.
I sure laundered the shit out of
Yeah,
that.
if it only happened once, I'm okay with that little fluke in the system.
Fair enough.
I hope that this isn't happening often. I hope that people aren't always just stealing money to wash it, but for that one guy out there who did it, good for you. You got away with it.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it's your turn.
My turn? Okay.
We're coming up on a close. You got any bangers to wrap up with? They make that's what she said jokes.
Oh. If you get one well-timed, not using it too often, it can be good. But yeah, if you're, oh God, or just even if they have that kind of like 2000s LOL so random kind of humor, it's just like, ooh, if they talk a little bit too much like a Twitch streamer, like or whatever, like a Twitch chatter, like that kind of language, I can take a sussy baka every once in a while, but if I hear it too much, I'm like, all right, this is a bit much. I think I'm just talking about young people in general. Like,
yeah, you're getting old.
Yeah, maybe I'm
Grizzled.
just yelling about the kids these days and their stupid words and everything.
You got to admit, although I'm sure generation to generation that sentiment is preserved, you got to admit that objectively things are shooting off in bananas directions in the sense of like the ones that fought World War II and then were in their 40s and 50s complaining about the next generation and their jazz music or like, you know, exactly all that weird pale by comparison stuff that has become so normalized. And then the hippies down to the 80s to the 90s. Nowadays, when you take a boomer, relatively older person, and then just show them what would be an average person from the young,
right?
It is leaps and bounds different in what they wear, like hair, clothing, colors of makeup and hair and presentation, the way that they talk, the phone first, everything, like wherever everyone goes.
Right.
It is so much different a human. I think that the gap is expanding generation to generation is what I'm saying. And I'm sure that it, as habituation works, feels pretty much the same if you were to gauge somehow the mental level about this of someone at each of these times.
Right.
But on the objective side, I think that like language has devolved into ridiculous non-words in a way that I don't think really has ever taken off before the internet.
Right. Yeah, language definitely propagates a lot faster.
Audio-visual mediums are now like communication norms and set standards for how people talk and interact. And there's weird consistency across like the 16-year-olds of today in that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, stuff like that's always hard to conceptualize. I remember looking through my grandma's like old documents and things. My parents found an old letter that like my great whatever the heck, probably owned slaves grandfather, like back then, had like written a letter. Basically it was like a kids these days letter, got no respect and all this kind of stuff. Like, is it that different? I don't know. Did kids in the 80s have a bunch of like weird little words that we don't even know about anymore that just kind of like came up for a couple years and then died off?
I don't think nearly to the same degree of spread because of the internet. Individual pockets, individual groups might, but that was never more than like 10 or 20, or it was rad and spread across the country.
Yeah.
The OG memes. I think the internet has fundamentally changed social interactions enough that now it is a widening gap.
Yeah.
Relative.
Yeah, what was a similar thing in an older generation to like kids just doing Fortnite dances in public? Was that
exactly?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and TikTok challenges, some of that antisocial bullshit.
Eating Tide Pods and such.
Like, there wasn't that level of just what in the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. It was disagree with ideas, argue against taxes and like the wars going on, but it was, I don't know, anchored in reality in a bit more of a real way than the social metaverse that now exists semi-digitally.
Yeah, it's just that there's so much information at like everyone's fingertips now that you can, as a child, just go down these insane rabbit holes and find communities where it feels like, you know, everybody is like this or everybody thinks a certain way or
Dude, I am so glad that we came in just under the curve of all that.
Kinda.
I don't think, I mean,
I've been on the internet for as long as I can remember.
I didn't do MySpace, and while I had Facebook, it was Farmville and some instant messaging, but never like a broadly connected type of way. Not the way that TikTok happens and virality gets really capitalized on now.
Yeah.
Not the way that everything has reels and feeds and stories and how Instagram has evolved into what it is. Like, it was a very baseline level.
Well, yeah,
and I think part of that is because it was so baseline. That's what let me not get absorbed more wholly into it. But like, if I was growing up 3 or 4 years later, I don't know, dude. If Instagram was the deal when I was 12 instead of 16 or whenever that really started to become big for us, I don't think I would have done as well. I'm glad that I was born mid-90s and not 2000.
Yeah. I feel like the big difference in the internet that we would have used versus today is the fact that we just weren't posting things. You know what I mean?
That's a big part of it.
We weren't putting ourselves out there as much.
Yeah, I wasn't invested in what my online persona was.
Yeah, because I could still fill a whole day with just feeding myself internet content, like when I was a little kid. Like I could, you know, that wasn't the issue of just like taking in online information. But I think that the difference is when people are posting themselves and trying to keep an image both online and in the real world, and having kids have to balance that is crazy. Even the fact that, I don't know, the first phone I got, I think I was like 10 years old, I got a Motorola Razr. And I mean, that was such a game changer. The fact that I could like text people and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And now, like, how young, I don't know anybody that has a phone that isn't a smartphone. And is that the same for kids? Do kids have just basically, are most first phones nowadays iPhones, essentially?
Probably.
Wild.
That, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wild.
That's crazy. To have just that much access to info.
I think I was 17 when I got a smartphone.
There's no way I would have been able to focus on anything as a kid. I don't think. If I always had that as an option.
Yeah.
like in class and things. Oh my God.
Again, I am glad that I was born when I was.
Yeah. You just gotta hope that people can figure out a good way to integrate these things and use them instead of having them sitting there as a distraction. But God knows that math class will never be as fun as like Candy Crush or something like that. You know, it's hard to compete with those little Skinner boxes.
I feel like this is a great time for a meta call out to the listeners
Oh yeah.
consuming this medium
Oh yeah, this is
on
good
their
stuff
Skinner
though.
box.
No, this
this
is good stuff.
This doesn't count.
Yeah, this is separate. There's some good stuff out there.
We're putting ourselves in this.
Yeah, exactly. There's good educational content like this podcast out there. That's good for you. That's your That's your internet
Brain food.
vegetables. Yeah, exactly.
Internet vegetables.
Yeah, this is important to take in and like and subscribe and comment. So everything else though, kids shouldn't have access to it.
Let's end it with a bang.
Sure.
They don't eat vegetables.
Oh, I think that's a deal breaker, dude. Honestly, to me, and it's one of the most irrational things I know, but because it doesn't affect me at all. But people who are picky eaters, dude, that just like bugs me. I'm like, why? What is wrong with you? Especially if they're the kind that like don't try things, but like if they try things and just don't like things, there's part of me that's always thinking, you didn't really give this a shot. You went into this, you know, believing you wouldn't like it, and then you tasted it, and
You're like,
you were just thinking gross thoughts the whole time. But fine, you put it in your mouth, and you chewed it, and you swallowed it, and you say you still don't like it. But yeah, that is such a pet peeve of mine. People who don't even like try foods. I'm like, are you a child? And look, maybe we have some people listening who are picky eaters. Nothing against you personally. Like I said, this is totally a me thing. It's not you, it's me. And it's something that I have to get over. But yeah, if they straight up don't eat vegetables, then that's going to bug me so much. That's a deal breaker.
deal breaker for me as well.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Glad I'm not alone on this one.
Now that we figured out exactly what we are terrified of in another human being,
Right.
let's sign off.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll see you next time on
A couple of fellas.